Summer is often remembered for sunlight, blue oceans, and laughter-filled evenings. But it's also during those seemingly harmless days that terrifying moments can strike, slipping silently into the breath of the night. The warm breeze, the most innocent invitations, and change everything forever. The three stories you're about to hear are all true experiences, told by people who believed they'd have a summer to remember, but instead were forced to face the deepest fear of their lives. Make sure you're somewhere safe, put on your headphones, turn off the lights, and get ready to step into 3 summer nightmares. Story 1. The Watcher in the Woods. I never thought a simple birthday could become the nightmare that still haunts me, even today. My 19th birthday was nothing special. I wasn't the party type. But that night, 3 close friends convinced me to do something adventurous, a birthday night off-road trip into the woods by the state park. Jay drove, Carl brought some weed, and Joey had a bottle of vodka hidden in his backpack. The plan: find a remote spot deep in the woods park, the Jeep blast music hotbox the car, and chill till late. We got there just after 9 p.m. The park was empty, dead quiet. Jay drove past the barrier headlights, cutting through the light mist and trees that looked like they were leaning in to listen. After a while, Jay killed the engine and headlights. Darkness swallowed us instantly. Carl lit the first joint. We passed it around. Music flowed out through a cracked window. Everything was going exactly as planned. Until a high-pitched scream shattered the air. We went dead silent. Jay cut the music. No one spoke. We just looked at each other, then all asked at once, "Did you guys hear that?" We told ourselves it was just a fox, or maybe an owl, but my gut twisted. I felt it like something out there was listening, waiting. Jay drove deeper into the woods. About 10 minutes later, we stopped again. I got out to pee, following a narrow trail to the side. But midstream, I heard footsteps, soft, deliberate, just behind the bush to my left. I spun around. Nothing. But the feeling of being watched throbbed in my ears. I rushed back to the Jeep. As I opened the door, Jay shouted, "Dude, look." A woman in a dark hoodie was standing by the edge of the trail, only about 10 steps away. She was motionless, her face hidden in the shadows. No movement, no reaction, as Jay rolled the window down and asked, "Ma'am, are you okay?" No answer. She simply stepped backward into the forest, disappearing between the trees. We were still trying to process what just happened when Carl pointed and whispered, "Guys, you see that we're surrounded." I turned. In 3 different directions, 3 other figures, also in hooded sweatshirts, stood perfectly still among the trees. Silent. Watching us. Not moving. The air in the Jeep turned thick. No one moved. No one spoke. Until click. A 4th figure stepped behind the Jeep, right behind the rear window. His pale face lit red from the brake lights. Eyes wide, mouth shut. No emotion. I screamed, "Jay, go Jay," hit the gas. Tires kicked gravel. The Jeep tore through the darkness, headlights cutting through tree limbs, flying past like black arms reaching to drag us back. Every jolt on the road felt like waking up from a nightmare. Not until we reached the main road did we finally breathe. No one said a word the entire ride home, but when I glanced at the side mirror, I saw it. A long, muddy handprint smeared across the back door. Maybe someone did touch the car while we were running. Do you believe there's always something waiting in the woods for those who stray? Story 2. The Strange Birthday Cake. My sister's 5th birthday used to be a sweet memory, until I realized I almost got kidnapped in broad daylight. I was in 6th grade. My sister's birthday party was at a princess tea room, everything pink glittery and filled with frilly dresses. I wasn't interested in any of it. I sat alone in the hallway, glued to my Nintendo DS. That's when she appeared. A woman in a floral dress with a faint smile. She approached me and asked, "You're Gloria's son, right?" I was surprised but nodded. Gloria is my mom's name. She smiled warmly. "I'm your Aunt Sarah. Been a while, huh? I bet you don't remember me." Her voice was soft, familiar. Nothing about her seemed off. I'd met distant relatives before it didn't feel strange. She chatted casually, asked about school, my grades, and then, "I brought your sister a big dollhouse as a gift. Want to help me carry it from the car? I also brought an extra birthday cake. You'll get the first slice." It sounded great. I was almost 12, old enough to know better. But I still believed adults, especially women, couldn't be dangerous. That mistake nearly cost me everything. We walked toward the back door. The parking lot was empty. The car was idling. Inside sat an older man in the driver's seat staring at me. "That's Uncle Dennis," she said. "Hurry now, the cake will melt." Then, my stomach turned. Why didn't she ask Dennis to carry the dollhouse? Why leave the engine running when there were tons of parking spots? I stopped. Sarah stepped closer and grabbed my sleeve. Her voice changed. "Come on, don't make this difficult." I yanked my arm away. "Let go. I'm calling my mom." Her eyes went blank like a mask slipping off. I was just about to run when Luca... It was my mom and my aunt. They sprinted across the lot. Sarah jumped in the car. Dennis hit the gas. The car sped off like they'd just been caught doing something awful. I ran to my mom sobbing. She hugged me, tight hands shaking. My aunt shouted for the staff. They locked the doors and gathered all the kids in a safe room. Cops came 15 minutes later. I told them everything, names, faces, the car, her voice. But no one in our family had those names, and no leads were ever found. No cameras, no plates, no trail. Maybe they'd been watching us. Maybe she knew my mom's name from somewhere. I still think about it. I survived. But I'll never forget that look in her eyes, cold, empty, and that sweet smile of someone who almost took me from the world. Story 3. The Stranger in the Dark. I thought my 21st birthday would be unforgettable because of drinks, music, and friends. I didn't expect it to become a nightmare. My uncle owned a massive lakefront villa, big pool, huge yard, outdoor speakers. When I asked to throw my birthday party there, he only said one thing: "No one sleeps over." I laughed, thinking he just didn't want to clean up. That night, I found out why. The party started at 8 p.m. I plugged an old phone into the yard speakers. Friends poured in, some brought drinks, some brought +1s. Then came the faces. I didn't recognize at all. I tried to keep it together, reminding everyone to stay outdoors, only go inside to use the bathroom. But controlling 80+ people, not easy. Around midnight, the police came. Neighbors complained about the noise. I shut the party down, keeping just a few close friends. By 2 a.m., only Rob, my best friend, was left. He was too drunk to stand. I helped him inside, laid him on the living room couch. He groaned and passed out. I locked the gates, locked the back door, headed upstairs to crash. The house was eerily quiet after the chaos. I brushed my teeth with a finger, too tired to look for a toothbrush. Sleep was dragging me under. I had just laid down when my stomach twisted. Booze cocktails, my gut rebelled. I rushed to the bathroom and threw up hard. Lifting my head from the sink, I heard footsteps from downstairs. I stepped into the hallway on the second floor and looked over the railing. Under the dim lights, a figure was standing in the foyer. "Rob," I called. No response. But The figure looked up at me. I couldn't see his face, just a dark shape against pale walls. The eyes, maybe. I felt them locked on me. Then, I heard snoring from the living room. Rob was still asleep down there. My blood froze. Whoever was in the foyer wasn't Rob. I backed into my room, locked the door. Hands shaking, I called Rob. Heavy breathing answered. No words, just listening. I dialed 911. While I was on the line, the doorknob started to turn. Slowly. Then, a soft knock. I whispered, "Should I tell them I'm calling the police?" The operator said, "No, don't speak. Don't let them know." I asked, "What about my friend Rob's downstairs?" A pause. Pray he doesn't notice Rob's there. I sat frozen. My heartbeat thudded in my ears. 10 minutes later, police arrived. They found the back door slightly open. The intruder had slipped in and left it ajar. I ran downstairs. Rob was still asleep. I woke him up and explained everything. The cops searched the house. Nothing. No one. Nothing broken. Nothing missing. Except one thing: my uncle's Cartier watch worth nearly $20,000 was gone from the kitchen drawer. I never told my uncle. Until he asked, "Did you see the watch I left in the kitchen?" I came clean. His face fell. He wasn't angry. Just disappointed. I was never allowed to throw a party there again. Every summer comes and goes, leaving memories behind. But for some, those memories never fade, not because they were beautiful, but because they were too terrifying to forget. You've just heard 3 true stories. What about you? Have you ever encountered something strange on a summer night? Share your story in the comments. Who knows? Your experience might be featured in the next video. Thank you for listening. And remember, the dark is always watching.